everyone, welcome to my video. Today I'm just going to show you a brand new product I'm proud to be part of called Safety Seal. It basically comes as solid just like this, and all you need to do is melt it down in the microwave for about 3 minutes or so, depending on the wattage of your microwave. Just be careful. If you're worried, just heat it in short blasts and it will completely melt down to a liquid, as what you can see here. So what I'm going to do today is just show you a quick video on how to use it with fresh flower cakes. So a lot of people have been asking, how can I use it on a buttercream cake? So what I've prepared here is a ring. This is a 6-inch cake ring. If you don't have one, you can just use a sheet of parchment paper and pour the safety seal over the parchment paper and allow it to set. But I've got this ring here that pretty much matches the same size of my cake. I'm going to pour my safety seal in the ring, remove the ring once it sets, and I can use that as a completely food safe disc that is going to go on top of the buttercream cake, and then I can put a nice bouquet or a nice arrangement of fresh flowers that will sit directly on top. So later on I will show you with the fresh flowers how it can be used, and I'll also show you how you can dip the fresh flower stems into safety seal and completely from then insert it into your cake. So now I've prepared the ring, as I mentioned earlier. I'm just going to, now with the safety seal being liquid, I'm going to pour it over my ring. Okay, and just, you can sort of tilt the parchment paper slightly just to allow it to spread completely. Don't worry if it spreads outside of the ring, you're just trying to get it all over the ring. Okay, once it's done that, just leave it one side to set. You can already see by me shaking it, it is starting to develop a skin on top. And you might be able to see some of it is leaked off the side. Don't worry about that. You can remove that later once it's dry, and actually you can completely reuse that small bit over here that's spilled out by just pouring it back into the pot and melting it down again. So look, within about roughly 20 seconds now, it has already started to set. You can see the color changing. It's almost going back to that solid texture that we see in this brand new pot I have here, compared to the clear texture that is in this pot that I've melted down over here. So I would say roughly, depending on the climate and the country you're in, if you've got a kind of English weather and it's about 25 or 20 degrees, even in summer, it will set. Just give it longer, more time. So what you can do is, I would say, wait about 20 minutes to be sure, and you should be able to remove the ring or peel it off your parchment paper if you're not using a ring. Okay, so welcome back. Basically what's happened now is I've finished, and what I'm going to do is the ring has completely, or the safety seal is completely set around the ring, and I'm just going to use a penknife here and just go around and just cut it out. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, because the idea is to have your flowers completely covering the spot. So you should be able to just remove that. And you can remember, you can reuse that, so you just pop that back into your pot of remaining safety seal, and that's fine for you to use again. Just melt it down. So with your ring, if you wanted it slightly smaller, let's say your flowers didn't cover the exact circumference, you can then cut it down again. Okay, so now as you can see, I've just cut a little bit around the disc to create a smaller disc. It's about 4.5 inches roughly in size. Like I said, you can always take, a cup or a large mug or a bowl to just cut around, so you can get it a bit smaller if you've made it too big or if it doesn't look perfect on the edges. And it should come away freely. So as you can see, just pulling that back, and that's been set for about 20 minutes. Okay, it's a little bit pliable, which is fine, but yeah, basically now, if I can touch it and it doesn't stick to my hands, you can place that directly on top of your cake without any worries. So what I've also prepared, I'll just put this one side, is kind of like a nice little arrangement of flowers. As I was saying, you can make like a bouquet. You could even put, I haven't used Oasis today, but you can stick your flowers in Oasis to keep the flowers fresh and alive a bit longer, especially if you're preparing it for a wedding. But what I'm showing you is you can now just basically place this directly on top of your sheet of safety seal. Okay, so now with my sheet of safety seal, just wiping off the excess here. Okay, I'm just placing that directly on top of my buttercream cake. I've just made a coffee cake over here for you. And then you can just take your flowers. So they are taped around with some florist tape, which we do use in sugar flowers and fresh flowers. Okay, and just basically just place that on top of your safety seal. Okay, now I'm just going to prepare a small cluster of flowers that's going to go pretty much on the side of the cake, just to add a little bit of a feature. So just to show you, use your florist tape, and you start by taping around. You just get the tape on first. Make sure your flower stems are dry, so you can always use some paper towel and just dry them off. And the flower pretty much will seal all the way around your flowers. And then all you want to do is make sure you've prepared your safety seal in advance. So from the solid form, as I showed you earlier, as it comes, you want to then melt it down in the microwave, and then it becomes complete liquid like this. It should be warm to touch. And then all you're going to do is dip it inside. Okay, remove it, and that has already created one seal around your flowers or your florist tape. Now, if you are worried and you want to put an extra coating, you can always do a double coat or even as many coats as you like. Just, I would say, try to make sure that the safety seal is warm enough, or make it hotter than you would have normally used it at, just to make sure it creates a very thin coat, not multiple thick coats, because if not, you're going to find it's really hard to stick into your cake afterwards. So leave this for about 20 minutes or set rock hard, and then you can push it directly into the cake, which is what I'll show you a little bit later on. Okay, so now as you can see, it's been about 20 minutes, and the safety seal has pretty much hardened around the side of the stem, or around the length of the stem. You can see here, if I squeeze it, it doesn't crack or anything like that. This does only have one coat. I've decided not to do two because I don't want to make the stem too thick, but if you'd like to, like I said earlier, you can do 2 or 3 coats, completely up to you. So I'm gonna I would like to place the flowers over here. So what I'm gonna do is just push it directly into my cake or into my sponge, just like you can see here. Okay, just pushing it the length of the safety seal. Now, if you find it a little bit hard to push in, you can always use some tweezers as well. Okay, but if you're happy with the look of the cake, then you can just stop there. Just remember, make sure the safety seal is dry before you insert it into the cake. If you're not sure, you have any queries, please feel free to contact me. I'm the Cake Botanist, and this has been a video for you using Ingenious Edibles Safety Seal. Thank you.